Attorney, kami lang po nag-iisip, no? Yung pong video ni VP Sara, no, na kung saan po ang bahagi nito siya ay nagmumura at nagbanta, no, ang sabi niya kapag may nangyari sa kanya, yun ang konteksto, no, pag may nangyari sa akin, don't you worry ma'am, meron na akong kinausap, no, etc. etc. Wala namang question doon, wala namang question na ano, 'di ba, na AI 'yon o fake video 'yon, 'di ba?
Well, sa aming pananaw, wala naman po. Wala naman po.
So, bakit ang tagal pa ng proseso doon po sa pag-authenticate nito, etc. Bagamat yan po naman po, I mean, para lang ma-establish, di ba, nung prosecution na authentic yan, hindi splice yan, etc. etc. Bakit po ba kailangan pang questionin pati yung mga testimonyo, ultimo yung testimonya ng NBI agent, yung mga dokumento po na kinakailangan, gayong wala namang question sa authenticity nung pong video at ng pangyayaring yon.
Well, actually, Manong Ted, no, ang problema kasi dito, nung una sa lahat, ay hindi kasi buong video, no, yung kahapon na pinapalabas. So, siyempre, ang sasabihin natin is, yung unang-una, kailangan pa rin natin malaman kung paano nakuha yung video, paano na-extract yan, etc. etc. No? So, normal lang naman po na in fairness to the prosecution, kaya mahaba dahil ino-authenticate po. No? Kaya yung witness kahapon, siya mismo yung pinapalabas nila na nag-extract ko nung video na yon. So, isa-isa po kasing gagawin yan. And hindi lang po kasi isang video yon. I think there were at least 4, even more videos na kinuha ng NBI agent. So, normal naman po kasi na kailangan talaga isa-isa ay kailangan ipatunayan mo kung paano nakuha, ano ang source, sino ang kumuha, etc.
Well, again, ano po, naintindihan nga natin ang papel ng bawat isa. So, mamaya po, ang inyong turno para po sa cross-examination.
Yes po, tama po.
Will you still cross-examine the witness or will that still help you? Meron pa hubang bagay na dapat pong klaruhin kahapon?
Well, yes po, no. Definitely kami ay nagbabalak mag-cross-examine mamaya, although syempre I cannot give you the details kung ano yung purpose ng cross-examination because hindi namin pwede pag-usapan yung mga bagay na yan, and of course we also don't want to preempt what the defense will do. But definitely we will participate mamaya at tingnan na lang po natin. But naintindihan ko po, narinig ko kasi po yung mga nabanggit off air, and I agree with you, yung mga objections. I'm sure sa social media medyo marami na rin akong nababasa, no? So normal lang mo talaga, no, na nag-object tayo. Ngayon, whether it's sustained or overruled, of course, that's with the impeachment court. But more than that, we are just putting our objections on record.
Opo. Pero, attorney, hindi ho ba ang main issue po dito sa Article 4 na ito ay yung ginawang pagbabanta ng Vice Presidente? Ano po, no? Basically po, yun ang main meat, no? And ang pinag-uusapan lang dito ay yung source po nga, yung video. Tapos meron silang mga predicate pa, yung mga unang mga umano'y pagbabanta rin ng Vice Presidente, pagpugot sa ulo, yung designated survivor, etc. etc. Napapansin nyo ba yung trend nito? Papunta po doon sa psychological capacity ng Vice Presidente to hold office?
Maaari po, no? Naku, Manong Ted, alam mo, ang hirap talaga magpa-interview ngayon dahil we will really go to the merits. But definitely, na-consider naman lahat. In fact, nung Committee on Justice pa lang naman, nakita na naman natin, no? Yung, kumbaga, yung nabanggit nyo nga na trend or ang stating na namin, more probably the theory of the case. But syempre, I also don't want to put words or speculate on the strategy of the prosecution. But yun nga po, no? Kahapon, although authentication ang ginagawa, obviously, NBI agent din po yun at NBI investigation din po kasi yung talagang pinag-uusapan dito. But again, linawin ko lang, yung video, although na yung isa-isa na pinapa-authenticate yung video, no? But iba kasi yung snippets of a video compared to the entire video, no, in terms of context. Yun lang siguro masasabi ko. That's why importante sa atin na ma-authenticate pa rin kung paano kung saan nakuha yung video na pinisenta nila, sino ang kumuha, etc.
Okay. Attorney, sinabi ho naman sa amin kanina, sa aming panayam po kay spokesperson Attorney Tolosa, no, na isa sa kanilang mga expert witness in this article ay psychiatrist, no? Parang patunayan na itong ganitong mga gawi, etc. Meron ho ba kayong ngayon pa lang po ay opposition na dito? Kasi mukhang naghain daw sila ng motion sa impeachment court na maging bahagi ng kanilang list of witnesses itong mga professionals na ito, psychiatrist.
Well, sa ngayon po, Manong Ted, no, hindi ko masasabi kung may opposition kami o wala. Unang-una sa lahat, nasa prosecution naman po yung prerogatiba kung sino yung gusto nilang ipatawag na witness. Kung sa tingin nila, kailangan nila magpatawag ng isang psychiatrist bilang isang expert witness na sa kanila. It will depend, no, dun sa purpose ng kanilang offer ng testimony ng psychiatrist. At doon na lang siguro kami either mag-object or kung hindi man, ay doon na lang kami magkukomento upon malaman namin kung ano yung purpose ng kanilang offer. Kasi yun po yung procedure, no? You object to a document when it's offered, and you object to the testimony of a witness when the testimony is...
Pero on record ho ba, hiningi na po ba yun ng prosecution? Nasa kanila ho ba?
Hindi ko pa po nakikita, Manong Ted, yung motion nila for the issuance of subpoena for a psychiatrist.
Opo.
Ang natatanggap pa lang namin kahapon ay yung, I think, kay NBI Director, Attorney Matibag, and yung kay Attorney Lopez, no, ng OVP. Yun pa lang po yung natatanggap namin kahapon. Although hindi natin alam, baka today naman po ay makatanggap kami. So, yun po.
Yung kay Attorney Zuleika Lopez po, nagpo-post na ho ba kayo dito? Ano pong inyong stand rito?
Yung kay Attorney Lopez naman po, no, wala po kaming opposition pa na na-file ukol dyan. Again, kasi prerogatiba naman po nila. In fact, if you will see the pre-trial list, no, yung brief nila, kahit po naman ako ay nakalista na witness. At least, isa sa mga witness na maaari nilang ipatawag. So, nasa prerogative naman po nila yan kung ipapasapina nila ang witness. At kung meron mang kaming magiging objection, although di ko pa sinasabi na magkakaroon kami, pero kung meron man, no, ito ay siguro tama i-raise, no, or we will bring this up na lang. Ngayon, pag narinig namin kung ano yung purpose ng testimony.
Yun hong Attorney Powa, yung inihain kahapon nila Attorney Torion na Supreme Court petition for TRO, no? Kine-question nga po itong si Chis Escudero bilang presiding officer and other issues. Yan ho ba talaga ay may basbas ni VP Sara? Kasi sa ilang mga balita, kasama siya sa mga petitioners?
To be honest, Manong Ted, and I'm always very candid with you, no? Hindi ako familiar sa petition na yan. Walang nababanggit ang Vice Presidente sa akin na may ganyang petition, so I wouldn't be able to answer. I would suppose wala siyang involvement, but yun nga, hindi namin napag-uusapan yung mga bagay na yan, no? But definitely on the side of the defense, wala po kaming communication, no, with Attorney Torion. So, wala, kumbaga, para lang linawin ng lahat, wala po kaming kinalaman dyan sa petition na naiyahay na yan. In fact, natanong din ako sa presiding officer kahapon at nasabi ko na wala kaming napag-uusapan sa defense, no, regarding that at the moment, yung issue ng presiding officer. That was something that was debated upon by the senators, and you know me, as much as possible, I do not comment on the debates of the senator judges out of respect for them.
Okay. So, may tanong ka ba kay Attorney Powa? At kami talagang naglubos na nagpapasalamat, Attorney, sa inyong pagpayag para mabalansi po namin ang aming programa after listening to the side of the prosecution.
Yes po. Attorney Michael, ito hindi nasabi kahapon kasi nga po, di ba, dumaan si VP Sara doon sa Senado. Short lang po na press con and then hindi na tumanggap ng mga tanong. Saan po ba talaga ang punta niya kahapon? Yun kasi may engagement daw.
No, kahapon po kasi, no, meron talaga siyang series of engagements the whole day. No? Marami siyang mga meetings the whole day. Isa doon ay meeting with the defense. No? So, nakipagkita po siya sa amin around 12:30, if I'm not mistaken, 12 to 12:30. No, after noong ginawa niyang statement in front of the media personnel present in the Senate, yun po ang schedule niya. Ngayon, after nung kanyang syempre I'm not privy kung sino yung mga ka-meeting niya, but dire-diretso yung meeting niya hanggang gabi, no? So, at ang nasabi niya sa akin ay meron siyang time, sometime around noon, 12 to 12:30. If we wanted to meet with her, pupuntahan na lang niya kami. Yun po yung nangyari kahapon.
So wala talagang possibility na haharap po siya kahapon? Talagang meeting lang with lawyers po yun?
Opo, definitely po. At yan din po yung binigay kong pahayag pagkarating ko ng Senate. Kasi naintindihan ko, marami na kasi ako natanggap na text messages yesterday morning asking, no? Kasi namataan yata yung, I think, yung may security yata siya na namataan doon. So, nagtatanong yung mga media kung siya'y darating. So, nagbigay na po ako kaagad ng pahayag para naman hindi na mag-expect yung media, no? At para hindi na lumaki yung issue. Sabi ko na lang na meron talaga kaming meeting kahapon scheduled but hindi po siya mag-attend ng meeting or trial.
Yes po. Attorney, for sure, nakikinig si VP Sara sa advice ng counsel, ano? But personally, siya po mismo, pag nakakausap niya siya, gusto niya ba na humarap po sa hearing?
Wala naman po siyang any objection sa paghaharap sa hearing sa lahat ng naging pag-uusap naming dalawa, no? But syempre, advice, we cannot disclose our advice, no? But wala naman siyang ganung objections para lang malinawan yung tao. But parat ko kang sinasabi, hintayin naman na natin kasi kung kinakailangan, talagang we will tell her that she needs to attend. But sa ngayon, we're only on the third day of trial, and second day with witnesses. So, wala pa naman kami nakikita, no, na rason.
Alam mo, Chacha, gaya ng ilang mga gustong-gustong humarap si VP Sara sa trial, hayaan niyo siya kasi sabi nga karapatan niya yon. She is the
Tama yan.
master of her fate and the captain of her soul. Invictus yun,
Oo.
baby girl.
Oo.
Smile ka naman, Atty. Michael.
Oo. Sana nakakapahinga pa to,
ang
nakakahinga
desisyon,
si attorney,
nasa kliyente nila, di ba? Ang
naman.
desisyon kung haharap o hindi,
Oo.
na kay VP Sara.
Yeah,
no?
yeah. At
Oo.
saka hindi, part ito,
Okay.
matagal na sinasabi,
Sige.
part ng strategy ng defense.
Okay, sige.
Baka
Anyway.
magulat tayo in the coming days. Talagang haharap. Hindi po ba,
Attorney Michael, muli po, we appreciate
Hindi ko na po
po.
ma-disclose talaga, no? But
Oo.
thank you po for your understanding and patience.
Yes.
Maraming
Of course, attorney, kami po muli ay lubos na nagpapasalamat po sa inyo pong pagtugon sa aming pong tawag. Mabuhay po sir and Godspeed.
Apo. Thank you po, Manong Ted. At thank you, Ma'am Sasha. Magandang umaga rin po sa ating mga kababayan.
Thank you. May grade 4 pa lang tayo, baby girl. Invictus out of the night that covers me. I am the captain of my fate and the master of my soul.
Try mo nga sabihin yung script kahapon. ni
Anyway,
VP
ganito
Sara.
ha.
Oo.
In the discourse yesterday, talking about VP Sara's statements during the November 23, 2024 press con, Senator Judge Risa Ontiveros stated, and I quote, "None of these statements are proof that the Vice President actually contracted an assassin or hired one. She is absolutely right." She then asked the question, why are these acts impeachable? To this question, the prosecution responded, "We understand that these statements may not actually 100% prove that she in fact contracted an assassin. End of quote. Hence, the prosecution admitted that the video does not prove any fact other than its existence. In simple words, there is no proof of any contracting of an assassin. The prosecution's admission before this honorable court made the respondent's position clear. The prosecution has no other competent evidence to prove that VP Sara contracted an assassin. Ang testimonya ni Kalilong, gaya ng iba pang ebidensya kuno ng prosecution, ay hindi sapat para patunayan ang paratang na ito. Trying to prove this stretched narrative using a hodgepodge of materials is a waste of this honorable court's time and the Filipino people's money. Si VP Sara na mismo ang nagsabi na hindi assassin ang kinausap niya. This term only came from people who took her statements out of their proper context and tried to exaggerate them for what they really meant. The truth of the matter is this. She and her family were threatened. And while her response was unconventional, it was justified. What triggered her response was a question about Operation Romanov, which is the plot to eliminate VP Sara and her entire family. The NBI's own records prove this. In the minutes of the meeting of Dempsey Reyes' interview, he said, and I quote, "May press con kasi earlier than that, sabi niya, parang hindi lang niya gusto daw, sabi lang niya, gusto daw siyang patayin daw, according to her, ni Speaker. That was during a press conference the day before, November 2022. End of quote. During the virtual press con, Princess Maui mentioned Operation Romanov again and even warned her about her safety. Reyes talked about it, Princess Maui reiterated it, but the NBI gaslighted it. When VP Sara uttered those words, she was not responding as Sara Duterte, the vice president, but Sara Duterte, the wife, mother, daughter, and sister, who only sought to protect her own and her family members' lives. Operation Romanov is in place, and the threat against their lives is real. VP Sara became the target of unauthorized intelligence and surveillance operations by government operatives that exposed her family to high-level risks and security threats, thereby causing intense trauma and uncontrollable fear. Her homes in Davao and Manila were profiled, and this is proven by classified casing reports. Her trusted security personnel were removed. Her schedule of official functions, like the one in Naga, was leaked by intelligence agents, and her security was heavily compromised. In sum, the prosecution was right in using the term culmination. But the prosecution's interpretation is wrong. Rather, when VP Sara left the administration, she suffered various forms of threats and harassment for many months from the powers that be, and the culmination was her statement on that fateful early morning in November 2024. She didn't commit an impeachable offense. She drew the line in the sand and said, enough is enough. That is the meaning, and that is the context. Finally, as to the alleged grave threats and inciting to sedition, these are defined by the revised penal code and are punishable by prison correctional. Thus, these fall under the jurisdiction of the MTC or first-level courts. These charges are not other high crimes as contemplated by the Constitution as grounds for impeachment and are therefore not impeachable. After all, VP Sara was fighting two important battles that day. One against the threat to her family's life, and another against the life of the ordinary Filipino, constantly suffocated by the immense weight of corruption, which she talked about during the press con. She never incited sedition, she merely echoed the voice of ordinary Filipinos. Her message that day only reflected what was already in their hearts and minds. There was no betrayal of public trust. She actually upheld the people's trust as she spoke for and behalf of the people. Thank you, Your Honor.